Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation, a non-profit public spiritual trust, is founded and managed by successful corporate leaders. Inspired by the Grand Meditation Master Brahmarshi Patriji and mentored by Padma Shri D.R. Karthikeyan, Dr. S.V. Balasubramaniam and Padma Shri Dr. R.V. Ramani.
We are all here to celebrate the grand functioning of Buddha CEO Foundation. 1 year of great efforts, preceded by a few years of planning for it, and establishing of a full-fledged office here in Bengaluru. It is total manifestation. Whatever you think, it will happen.
The foundation is operating globally with volunteers and participants across several countries.
Meditation is a process to gain whatever that we can dream about and to remove any limitations that we're setting on ourselves which stops us from realizing that dream.
The vision of the foundation is to build leaders who are meditative, compassionate, and purpose-driven for a harmonious and fulfilling life. With a mission to empower organizational leaders, entrepreneurs, and students with scientific meditation wisdom, the foundation has been carrying out 3 types of activities: teaching meditation, publishing meditation wisdom, and building global communities. As of March 2022, the foundation conducted 136 programs with 3,000 plus hours of content and positively enhanced the lives of 75,000 people directly and many thousands indirectly with the breath mindfulness meditation practice. The flagship 40-day program is a free online program for leaders and employees. Spiritual scientific wisdom about meditation, physical and emotional health, relationships, and manifestations are taught in this program. Other programs include 21-day for youth, multi-day manifestation, intensive meditations, Saturday masterclasses, full moon night meditations, and Sunday long meditations. Spiritual scientific wisdom means we are energy and are all interconnected. We create our own reality. The world has abundance for all. The foundation runs 2 YouTube channels containing hundreds of testimonials, wisdom, and guided meditations. It publishes a corporate meditation magazine called Buddha CEO and distributed thousands of copies to its members and several CXOs. The foundation published 2 books on meditation, namely Patriji Answers and The Miracles of Meditation, to inspire many more.
Finally, I have this in my hand, manifestation. A dream manifestation in black and white, the concept of a Buddha CEO.
It's a great job, Chandra. Buddha CEO is not just teaching meditation and also giving a lot of information about meditation and how to lead the life.
The foundation also created meditation courses on the online Udemy platform to support self-paced learning.
Meditation is miraculous. So meditation is the only method by which we can make individuals responsible.
During 2022, Buddha CEOs worldwide across 20 cities in the Middle East, UK, USA, and India organized several in-person workshops by Masters Chandra and Vani, strengthening the foundation's global presence.
Meditation has been the ultimate medicine for all the problems. It's a permanent medicine. If you take medicine, it will only helpful for a short time. But meditation is going to be a lifelong medicine.
The foundation relies on the active support of the participants, volunteers, and trustees and expresses deep gratitude to them. The foundation has done great work in its first 2 years of operations, causing significant healing, life transformations, self-empowerment, and growth in thousands of individuals and a few organizations.
For this Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation, we should have a tagline: Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. Yoga is meditation, Karma is action, Kaushalam is efficiency.
It is very grateful to Brahmarshi Patriji and Swarnamala Patriji and its mentors. The team at Buddha CEO thanks all participants for their active support and invites everyone to join this noble mission.
Namaste everyone. Happy morning, afternoon, and good day to you, dear friends. Hope you all had a great time interacting with your facilitators in the breakout room sessions yesterday. We just now saw the video, foundation video. It's a great mission Sir has taken it up, and Thinking with your heart, it's all about connecting with yourself on a deeper level. It's about being mindful and aware of your own thoughts, emotions, and needs, and making choices that align with them. By doing this, you'll feel more fulfilled, at peace, and in control of your life. It's not just about you though. It also improves relationships with others. As you become more authentic and truer to yourself, you can achieve this by incorporating practices such as meditation into your daily routine. Thank you so much. Now I will pass it on to Sir to shed light.
Thank you, Sudha Madam. Happy morning, dear friends and masters. Great afternoon and wonderful evening. Viktor Frankl, in a book, The Search for Meaning. Viktor Frankl was a prisoner in German Nazi camps. And was talking about there is something that always drives every individual. That something is purpose. For everybody, there is a purpose. The purpose creates hope, and then they drive themselves. For everybody. In various researches that they've done, when students are asked, they said 80% of them said the reason for them to continue to drive themselves is because of the purpose, of the meaning for the life. Others may say, I'm living for my child. Some people may say, I'm living for the community, but there's always a purpose of why we are driving ourselves forward. And Viktor Frankl was talking about some of them and how they could come out of these grueling camps, no matter what the situation, circumstance is in the camps for them. But some of them could survive, and those who survived had that purpose, and so the purpose drove the hope for them to stay on. And for himself personally, the very thought that he could go back and spend some time with his wife was sufficient enough for him to keep his hopes alive in those grueling camps. We are an intelligent being. Conscious mind is created only for human beings. Subconscious and unconscious are there for all other beings, but humans have this conscious mind to think, to create, to reason, to experience more. And so when I met Patriji in the year 99, and I was hearing his stories, Patriji was talking in those days, and he always talked, that he resigned his job very early on when he had like 2 very young little daughters. And then he wanted to take this message of meditation, and he would drive, he would go and travel 6 hours, 7 hours, only to teach one person meditation. This was in 1990s. 6 hours he would go by bus to only find one person potentially there to teach meditation. But then he was always linked it to that's just what he felt. He felt that that is the purpose that he needed to do. I was observing my younger brother, Dr. GK, and then he was graduating out of medicine, MBBS, but then he was all around going to teach meditation. He was not interested in making money through medical practices. How much ever we would tell and pursue him, But he would say, this is what really gives me happiness. And so he tried a couple of times to practice, but then he gave up pretty soon, once in 6 months, another time in 1 year, saying that it not gives me satisfaction. So when I was there with Patriji and then Dr. GK in the initial days, looking at it, and then when I myself personally experienced this benefit of meditation, 2002, 2003, those initial years of when I was deeply looking at myself, what is it? What's my purpose? A seed was formed then. I said, seems like this is where I want to go. This is where I would like to help. So even though I was very selfish at that moment, initial days, I wanted to learn more. So I took to service. While I was not very clear, this is how I'm going to go. But I took to service to learn more, to interact more with Patriji, to other senior masters then. When you go into an organization to serve, and then when you are part of the cause for the leadership, of course, they're going to spend some time with you. So that was my motto, to learn more. And so I took to service, I took to be a part of the board member for Pyramid Valley International that we formed as a non-profit trust. It's an international meditation center in Bangalore, beautifully serving, spread over 30-acre campus, about 300,000 people annually today. We teach free meditation. This breath mindfulness meditation that we teach there. And so my journey continued, and then every time I'd seen, while I was working as a corporate executive, I was in startups by then, doing computer science. I mean, I was in IT, so I continued to do in IT software companies. And then parallelly, my journey towards Pyramid Valley, which was very passionate about to build it. And then in various roles in Valley, as a board member, as a secretary, as managing trustee for a long time, that I continued to help form this center. So that kept increasing my interest towards. Every time I heard people come and say, my life has changed and this has happened for me. My children are just so well settled, they gain so much clarity. And then people come in there. Sometimes people come and say, last night, till whole my life, I had this back challenge. And then in 6 hours of meditation later, now I don't even find anything. This pyramid seems to have like an incredible energy, healing energy. All those stories kept, and then my association with Patriji and then other masters who've been selflessly going towards and then going into village to village and teaching meditation, village to village. That was the mission of Patriji, is to go to the underprivileged, go to the remote nook and corner of this country and then teach. I know that he's traveled at least 70,000 villages in his 40 years of service by road. On the first day when Karthikeyanji was talking about a village totally transformed in the remote tribal areas of Visakhapatnam district in India, through just simple meditation, they empowered themselves. So it became very, very clear to me more and more that I would spend my time fully at some point or the other for sure into spreading and creating awareness about meditation. And Patriji, while always was going about himself to teach in the rural areas, he always mentioned we must have something towards teaching it to the corporates, to the leadership. And the leadership has so much resources. They have knowledge, resources, access to money, man, material. So if they change, and then absolutely there can be a significant change. And so it became a natural calling for me and a natural interest for me to develop towards teaching or spreading meditation into the corporates, into where I was working, and always start from where we are. And the more I studied about purpose, it became apparent and so clear that we're always given a talent, that experience that is given to us that our purpose is built upon it. Our purpose is always built upon the place we live, the places we travel, the type of organizations or people that we met and then spent time around. And so it became very clear that since I've been a globetrotter as part of the IT field, that I've been always traveling back and forth to the US, to Europe, to India and Asian countries, it became clear to me that I must utilize my personal experience towards connecting with global individuals in creating more awareness. And somewhere the science got deeply added from 2014 onwards, where I started researching. Because to go into corporates, to governments, they always want proof, always want research to backing, because they are more secular, and then everybody must be respected, so there are values, and so then it must be science backed and then not anything else. And deeply differently, we are convinced by now in the 6 days of the program, I'm sure many of us are convinced meditation has nothing to do with religion. Meditation is a scientific process, and it is enabling more creation by fixing our thought. And so then the time spent in the corporate offices, and then I always carry during my entire tenure books, magazines, and then things like You Are the Placebo, A Biology of Belief, ever since I've convinced through scientifically process explaining this thing. So I always carried them, gave in every CXO meeting that I went to, that some way or the other I would hand over a book to them and give them and say, here is something for you to just look into. And almost everywhere I went, and every time I spoke about this meditation, at the end of the meetings, nobody resisted, and everybody seemed to be already doing some kind of practice. It's just that they're not talking about it actively. Because in the halls and the wings of this corporate corridors, it is still a taboo. Only as the days went by, we have now in many places, and I was very surprised when my company got acquired by IBM, and then we went in. There's already a community of mindfulness practitioners, about 2,000 plus people community worldwide. They're doing something everywhere. So it became a great opportunity. So with Patriji, that we always wanted a foundation. So 2015, 2016, we organized a miniature Buddha CEO conferences. Patriji gave this title. I deeply respect this Grand Master, to whom so much has come as the importance of meditation scientifically. So we did small two-day workshops in 15, 16. Something happened. It was delayed because I was deeply into my global travel and work. But then COVID time came. And prior to that, my calling for putting a stop to the work that I was doing, because I wanted to really spend full time, because I was still an executive in IBM and then doing part-time. It was not giving me adequate time. Then I thought, and not more than adequate time, it's just the satisfaction I felt that I would get every time I'd go and then talk about meditation was not that much more. It became clear. What is interesting for us at a given time will turn into not so interesting as a purpose, which is changing from time to time. At any given time, in every 2 years, 3 years, maybe 5 years. Two years, 3 years, 5 years, the purpose that what we need to do to keep us very happy and satisfied changes. There is an overarching purpose of what we do. Let's see what's happening here. there's an overarching purpose of what we want to do, and it may be known to us, may not be known to us, but we do know at any given time, this is where I want to spend time. That was the case for me. In the 3 years I was at IBM, I was deeply interested to spread this directly by talking about meditation, organizing programs of meditation. And then I found a great partner with me, Lawrence Guhart Jolly, who was the general manager at IBM then. And then our interests grew together. And then it was time, and then we were talking about it that, when would we start a foundation? When would we start a corporate meditation organization that will scientifically take it without any association with religion, cult, or any of them. And that's how Buddhasiya Quantum Foundation came in. I resigned from my job from IBM as an executive in 2019. And I didn't know when I left how we're going to start, when it's going to start, what we're going to do exactly. But all I know is that we should go and then take this meditation to the corporates in some way. So I did some deep meditative workshops later with Dr. Joe Dispenza. There is a month or two of deep internal search and quest for me. And the answers came in the form of, I guess, COVID came, and it became a natural thing for us to start an online program. We just started an online program in March 2020, just on behalf of Pyramid Valley. And it was not common to have an online program outside. We just did it. And that was liked by people. And then so within a month, Karthikeyan sir, whom I knew a little bit through Pyramid Valley Association with Patriji, when I invited him for a session, he liked it, and then he wrote to many, many people. So the Buddhasiya Quantum Foundation thus originated in 2020. After doing 6 months of this intense work, then we felt it's time to form a foundation. So by then, Lawrence too resigned for a job because she also wanted to contribute significantly. And so then we formed this in 2020 in August with Lawrence, Vani, and myself, with several people, several masters who have been from day one with us. But the purpose is there for each of us. And so Buddhasiya Quantum Foundation, since then, very grateful to so many volunteers who were able to do these programs regularly, consistently. Our goal is to give this knowledge to everyone, and whoever is interested, to everyone. We are focused towards governments, corporates, leadership, and then employees. At the same time, we're also focused towards undergraduate, graduating students who are stepping into the business world. Undergraduate, graduate students who can absorb the scientific wisdom and then make a firm resolution for themselves about living a new way and thinking a new way. That's our goal, and which we've been enjoying this time all this while in the last 2 years, and we continue to do our vision that we produce as much literature as possible and then do some research. And when we're doing this research, now we collected research of self-assessments from so many people, and then all of them consistently tell that with meditation, more than 70% who join in a 6-week program are telling us that something is healing at the healed of their medical conditions. 63 to 70% tell us consistently that either they've healed of a condition in the 6 weeks or they know that it is healing. 80% plus always tell us that they're becoming productive. And about 30% say they're becoming highly productive once they go through these programs. When they practice meditation, it doesn't matter whether you do it through Buddhasiya or somewhere else, but then when you practice this breath mindfulness meditation, has got this staggering effects, and the 90+% always tell their life is a lot more positive. Their outlook towards their life is just incredibly different now. So it gives us a lot of inspiration to continue to do what we're doing. We have several plans. Our vision goal is that as all of us turn into meditation and recognize the incredible benefits of it, then we must, and then we will take it to everybody around us, to communities. We feel NGOs in the world are driven by many corporate execs, and then of course governments are doing policies. So if we can influence, and the leadership always influences the policies, and then take appropriate roles in NGOs, I think we definitely believe that this meditation can go to every person through the NGO leadership. And so we have lots of dreams about it, and quantum field has unlimited possibilities. We continue to dream to see that each of us become a Buddhasiya or a meditator. So let's go into our meditation once again, dear friends. We are practicing breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to empty the mind and then connect into this quantum field of energy. We've learned several concepts this week. And it's a great idea to go back to look at some of these, and then they all are captured in the wisdom notes we're sending every day. Today, after meditation, we have a business leader, my dear friend, who is a corporate exec, and then who is into his own startups now. Sai Krupa Sagar is joining us to share his journey and his wisdom of meditation. So relax yourself, sit comfortably with your eyes closed, relax your body. For those of you join new, we are practicing breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal, breath mindfulness meditation, let me see that. All right, now. The process of meditation is very, very simple. With your eyes closed, you sit down as you see in the picture, with your eyes closed, fingers into fingers, hands comfortably in your lap. You observe your breath, take any point on the nose as a reference point, and then you observe your natural breath. When you observe your breath, mind becomes empty. When the mind is empty, we may have sensations or any experiences in our body and mind. Just be a witness to them. If you have thought, attention back to the breath again, and again observe the breath. And so by doing so, we are going into the emptiness, and our goal is to be in that state of emptiness for as much as possible. Before we do this, we're doing a process called heart elevation. Just follow my guidance for that, dear friends. So relax yourself. Sit comfortably with your eyes closed. Relax your body. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. With your fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap, with your eyes closed, observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. our goal is to empty the mind and merge into that greater quantum field of energy. When we observe our breath, the mind becomes empty. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to become totally empty of all thoughts in your mind. and you observe your breath, the mind becomes empty. As your mind is becoming empty, we channelize all that energy into the generous present moment. We allow our body to function at its natural best. We gain greater clarity. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness inside of you, all around you. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to become totally empty. all thought. Slowly and slowly, can you become aware of that emptiness, where there's no body, where there's no thing. Allow yourself to experience this emptiness. That infinite depth of that emptiness spreading far and wide. All emptiness is energy. This is the unlimited field of quantum energy with limitless possibilities. The longer you stay connected, the more you become of it, and the more you receive from it. It is natural to have thought. If you recognize your thinking, go back to observing your breath, dear friends. Everything that you ever experienced or will experience is here in this field of energy. The longer you stay aware of this emptiness as no body, the more possibilities you draw into your life. Allow yourself to merge into the emptiness of yourself. That greater intelligence your higher mind everything and everybody are connected in this field of energy. The longer you stay aware of this emptiness, the more you lose yourself to this nothingness. The more we experience everything. Relax your body.
I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate
Feel your
who
body
I've
and let your autonomous
I am
nervous system
I am powerful,
repair your body.
and I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate.
Recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What did you see? And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoyed the session. We always said this, no two meditations are same. However, every meditation session is great. At the beginning, in the middle, in the end, on some days it'll appear to be very, very difficult to go empty. And it is never an expectation that you are in an empty state of mind for the whole duration of meditation. Our job is to continue to observe and observe and observe the breath. And when there are thoughts, bring it back to the breath again, observe. It doesn't matter if it's happening every 5 seconds, every second. It happens every second, every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds, every minute. Bring your attention back to the breath. We always said that in that attempt, our brain is reprogramming, is creating a new circuitry to support us, to make it very effortless. And then we always said we transcend time in meditation. So we don't even know when we went into empty state and when we didn't. There's only so much we comprehend. And so then we think we might have gone into completely, we've been in thought state, but we're not. It'll be apparent to each of us as we practice, even however quality that you thought your meditation was, but later, in maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we'll always find something different. And that's how we measure, not by the amount of time we're empty, or the depth of different types of experience we have of meditation. Experience happen. Some consciously are aware, some not aware, some subconsciously are there. Every day in meditation experience do happen, but only some are consciously aware. Friends, without losing further time, we'll invite our guest for today, Yes, to the madam.
Friends, we have Mr. Sai Kripa Sagar as our guest speaker today. Sai Kripa Sagar, he's an accomplished technology business leader and a long-time meditator. He held the position of Vice President, Digital Engineering at global IT services company, Cognizant, till recently. Sai Sir was instrumental in establishing several technology practices there. In his career of 30 years in IT services industry, Sai Sir has held several roles from developer to software architect to business leader and has worked in India, North America, UK, and Europe. Sai holds degrees in computer science and a PhD in international business, having gone through an extraordinary transformation in his personal and professional life due to a daily practice of meditation. Sai Sir has undertaken the task of spreading the magic of meditation as a primary side hustle. Sai Sir has been practicing meditation for over 20 years now and is managing trustee of Pyramid Valley International and runs his software consulting venture. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, madam. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Chandra.
Hi, Saga.
So I think beyond more than any of that description, I think one description that's enough is Chandra is my friend and he got me into meditation. And all the magic unfolded after that, which is what I'm going to talk about.
Yes. Friends, when I was talking this morning about purpose, and we all have a purpose and our dreams. And to me, somebody who is always enabled me to fulfill my dreams is Sai. We all have people in our lives who come along the way like angels, like guides, but Sai is like that to me, who is constantly been there in fulfilling my dreams. A great master, now contributing Pyramid Valley International to be what it is in the last 3 years as managing trustee, but otherwise as a associated trustee for it for a long time. And always shares this corporate meditation as a vision and a dream. And so I'm sure we'll enjoy his wisdom, and then he's also teaching so regularly at Pyramid Valley too. So it's all yours. Thank you.
Thanks, Chandra. Good evening, good morning, friends. It's a pleasure talking to all of you again. I know Buddha CEO, I'm no longer a guest to Buddha CEO, so I keep visiting in the multiple sessions. So I just want to talk about how meditation has helped me in the corporate world. You must have heard a lot about obviously meditation helps in our daily life, helps in the corporate world as a professional employee, helps in our business ventures, helps in health. I mean, you probably have been hearing a lot of those experiences, but my experiences have mostly been in my day-to-day life, in my professional life, and in my family life. So I started meditation around 96, 97, while I was in Noida. My initial introduction to meditation was transcendental meditation. And at that time, I just used to sit every day for 20 minutes. That was my first job, almost like 20 hours a day, working at a very medium-sized software company, enjoying the work, enjoying the climate in Delhi, as well as learning this meditation. People used to look at me. At that time, meditation wasn't as popular as now. So people used to look at me, oh, is he meditating or is he sleeping? But anyway, those 20 minutes really helped me do some creative work. I was writing compilers at that time. And then work and family took me to the US. Around 2000, around 97, 98, me and my wife Bindu moved to the US, and I was working writing compilers for Microsoft based in Seattle. And that is when my introduction to Chandra happened through a common friend who used to work along with him, and he moved and worked along with me in Microsoft. And even till date, me and my wife feel that the whole purpose of our US visit, so we stayed there for 5 years and then returned back for family reasons. So the whole purpose of that visit was to meet Chandra's family, get introduced to meditation through his brother GK. So that was the whole purpose in the grand scheme of things. That is what we believe. And of course, work experience was there, but the most important thing was this introduction to meditation, introduction to PSSM, introduction to Patriji. Around 2003 to 2004, both of us returned. I think Chandra returned a year or two earlier, and then we returned. And that is when we got introduced to Brahmarshi Pitamaha, and we got involved in certain activities of PSSM, doing the initial website at that time for pssmovement.org, and then several other things. So we used to practice meditation every day, the simple Ana-Pana-Sati technique. We used to read books. Again, Patriji used to give us a set of books, both metaphysical sciences, neurosciences, spiritual science. So we used to read those books, and we used to have weekly satsang. Me, Chandra, and some of our friends, we used to gather every weekend in one of our places. It was wonderful. We had some masters come in and talk about some spiritual science as well. So great wisdom sharing, great experience sharing, going out together. In fact, most of the time, that was the time Pyramid Valley started as well. So we used to go there often, and it was almost like a energy recharge, recharging the nature in the Pyramid Valley. So this continued, and my meditation continued as well. But my meditation took a long time to reach the state where I really felt very good about it. So like some of you or most of you in the corporate world, I belong to a category called what I call ET. So I'm an excessive thinker. I used to be an excessive thinker, right? I mean, you must have heard about the beta gamma waves. So I think now when I look at it, maybe my brain was, I used to have probably 80 to 100 thoughts per second. So too much of thinking. Every time I need to speak, every time I need to get into meetings, it's always about thinking, that the mind, the chatty mind, right? And it was all programmed. Oh, I need to behave this way. So the biggest thing I had was, what will people think of me? Even while I was in the US, and then when I came back and joined Cognizant, the initial days was like, because I'm new to the company, oh, I need to make an impression, right? What will people think of me if I make a mistake? So the initial meetings were all like, it's basically, I used to program, this is what I need to tell, right? In those days, you need to report the status. This is what I need to tell. This is what I answer. But suddenly when there was an impromptu question, you kind of struggle with an answer. I'm sure all of you relate to when all the young professionals will relate to that. Maybe now, I think people are a lot more mature. So that is how it used to be. And one of the first things I noticed as I continued this practice of meditation, as I noticed in the corporate world, was the meetings were much calmer inside. It obviously, you have dozens of people in the meetings, but I used to approach meetings in a very calm and casual way. And my status reporting or updates was very normal. I didn't have to tense. I was not anxious about it, though I wrote down a few points. But then the important thing I noticed was, after some of the meetings, some of the questions that people asked, I was able to spontaneously respond, which was a big, big change for me. Before that, I used to dread meetings, and then meetings became a normal thing. And as you know, that also improved my communication skills within the corporate ladder. Right? So you need to communicate with your superiors, with your peers, with your juniors. So my communication became a lot more clearer, because prior to, in the earlier stages, I always used to think, when I need to speak to someone, oh, I need to speak to this I was always planning to speak to achieve an end, to achieve something. Oh, I need to tell him something, but how do I tell him? Right? So that is how things used to evolve. But then even, for example, talking to my superiors, oh my God, there is a fear. What will they think of me? Right? And when I talk to my subordinates, what will they think of me? I need to be a role model. That is what all the people told us, right? So you need to be a role model. You are not supposed to commit mistakes. You need to be an example to them. But then over time, things started happening. I started telling them it was a lot more spontaneous. Prior to that, it was more anxious, more programmed. And then as days progressed, I was able to communicate a lot more clearly, crisply, and what do you say, without any chatter, right? So spontaneously. So that was one big impact of, I believe it's purely because of meditation. So, and later, many years later, right, as we read books of Joe Dispenza and quite a few other authors, then we got this story of brain waves, how meditation allows you to move from beta to alpha to theta. So, okay, so that was what was working at that time. At that time, I didn't know, okay, it was a calmer mind, and I was able to respond to meetings. So one of the first impact was calming the mind. That's what meditation allows us to do. And more importantly, a continuous practice of meditation. And again, like I think Chandra remarked, I mean, there's nothing like a good meditation or a bad meditation or a good experience or a bad experience. I always say in my classes, the only bad meditation is the one you did not do. Every meditation is good. So during those years, when I had this whole initial years of meditation, when I sit in meditation, it was always thoughts, right? 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. In fact, we used to go to this group meditation classes with when Patriji arranged, and then Chandra used to take us or call us to a lot of meditation sessions in Bangalore. So every time you go and sit there, even it is 1 hour, the music gets played, Patriji plays the flute, but I used to always keep having thoughts. And after the meditation, a lot of people share their experience of, oh, wonderful, this happened to me, that happened to me. For me, nothing happened, right? Only thoughts happened. So this continued, but in spite of that, I could see the calming mind during the course of the day, right? So that gave me that confidence that, yeah, meditation is real. Though, as I said, I'm a very inquisitive mind coming from an engineering and science background. I really wanted to know. Though Patriji used to say, just sit still, close your eyes, observe your breath. And people talk about all this magic, right? I was always inquisitive. How does all this magic happen? What is the science behind it? So as we continued to read a lot of books later, things became clearer and clearer. So you start believing, your conviction grows, and that is what happens. And unfortunately, at that time, 20 years ago, we did not have these 40-day meditation sessions and teachers like Chandra explaining this is how meditation works. So it was all self-learning, and obviously self-learning takes its own time, right? So that's what happened. But but this whole calming thing, and then there were moments in the company as you walk through a corridor. I mean, that was one of my enlightening moments as well. So just one day, I was just walking through the corridor, getting up from my office, going with my team to the cafeteria for lunch. Then suddenly it struck me, the calmness in my mind. I was able to observe everything, every nuances, every detail, every person as I walked through that corridor. That was a moment of real revelation. I was kind of suddenly observed my mind to be so calm. Till then, I always was thinking about something, right? Also, even though some person was talking next to me, I always used to think about the next thing. What should I do? Why is he talking like this? What should I do? How do I present in tomorrow's meeting, right? But that one day felt so unnatural to me, which later I know is our natural state, but so unnatural compared to the prior days or any time before. It was so calming, it was so wonderful, everything seemed so crystal clear. This happened not in nature, not in a meditation sitting, but as I walked along the long corridor in my office. So that immediately I could relate that, why did that happen? That was because of my meditation, because we used to practice. It happened maybe, I don't know, 6-7 years after my initial introduction to breath mindfulness meditation. So friends, meditation is real. Now all of us know there's a lot of science behind it. And one thing is it obviously calmed my mind and then cleared my fear of what will other people think. I did have that fear a little bit more later. I'll talk about some later instances in a non-corporate world, but at least in a corporate world, it allowed me to be confident of myself. It allowed me to communicate clearly. It allowed me to speak what I wanted to speak without the usual mumbo jumbo of corporate world, right? And then things started to happen. And as things started to happen, when I say things started to happen, I did not make things happen. Things started to happen. There were some client meetings. I used to travel a lot, being a practice leader at that time. I started the cloud practice and Cognizant around 2010, 2012. So and prior to that also, we used to travel to client meetings. Being a technology leader, you go present on technologies and win business. So in one particular client meeting, as you know, from the corporate world, we all do a lot of preparation. We have tons of slides. Your boss reviews the slides, make sure you talk the right thing, and then you tell the team this is what needs to happen, right? So we prepare and go, and then this account manager, as I walk to the meeting, the account manager tells, Sai, this particular client is a very tough client. And he says, in the past, we've had several meetings with him, and none of us came out unscathed. You always used to point questions. You always used to ask questions that we couldn't answer. So I said, in my calm nature, I said, okay. And then we went into the meeting. And then when I asked, like customary, okay, here is what I'm planning to cover, but is there something that you want to know? And then he told me a topic on one of the pain points. And my slides did not have that at all. So we are also structured to following the slide format, right? But then magic happened. So I just walked to the whiteboard and then I started talking about the topic. So I obviously knew some of it, and then some of it magically happened. And so I just walked to the whiteboard without using slides. I was able to cover the entire 1 hour of the 1.5 hour of the presentation, and literally no questions, right? And towards the end, he said, this is exactly what we wanted to hear. And this is something that we've been wanting to hear from your team for the last few months. And I said, thank you. And I always thank universe as well. Thank God, thank universe. Okay, it helped you, right? And then later, the account manager came, he got the feedback, and then he came and running and said, this is the first meeting that person did not ask a question. So usually what happens when we are in corporate meetings, when someone does not ask a question, right? We think, hey, did he really understand? Did he really get it? Did I make sense? That was the initial doubt, right? But then in this case, he clearly communicated that he really wanted, he understood how things were, right? He understood what we can provide him in that particular context. And later we really won. He became a big champion. We won a big deal from that customer. It was an insurance client in North America. So this is another way where once you start trusting yourself, the confidence automatically comes. And I'm sure you must have heard in prior sessions, or I'm sure Chandra will cover in this sessions later for some of the newcomers, how as we start believing in ourselves, as we start calming our mind, we get connected to the universal mind, we connected to the one mind, which starts helping us. So you get into the flow, you become coherent with what the universe wants to help you with. And I think that's another fundamental principle of manifestation as well. So that's another way. So once magic started happening, I didn't have to worry about anything. So much of my success, much of my accelerated growth in Cognizant was because of that spontaneity, that trust in things will happen. And another thing I noticed, anytime I wanted to do something, automatically people started helping you, right? Automatically the people started coming saying that, okay, for example, one of the times I wanted to start, we saw a problem. We wanted to start a new group in Cognizant called the Software Engineering COE. So I had to go make a pitch to my boss saying that this is needed, so we need a special budget for it, right? And that conversation was so intense. We differed, we debated, but it was so intense because all that mattered was for us to do something to others. It was to help others. It was not for me to get a promotion, for me to kind of exhibit my skills to my boss. So, it so happened that the boss was convinced. We were very easy to get the budget, and suddenly we were able to put together a team in no time. And that was one of the success factors for Cognizant even today. When people talk about some of the code quality, we built a lot of frameworks, we built a lot of tools, and then even today that's being mentioned in a lot of customer presentations and as part of the software engineering discipline that the company follows. So as we have the right intention, things happen. And really it was pretty magical. One last instance I would want to talk about how it leads to abundance as well. And being in Cognizant for as many years, obviously you grow along the corporate ladder, and you also have a lot of other benefits in terms of stock options, which really helped us a lot. But one thing was in 2016, 2018, we needed a change, so we moved to London for a couple of years to lead the cloud practice or set up the cloud practice in London and Europe. Me and my family moved, and like anyone, we all made plans. Okay, this is going to be the budget. This is going to be the housing requirement. This is how we need to get the pay. So those were the negotiations that happened. But fortunately, in fact, I've told this to Patriji as well. Around that time, there was a special program for senior executives that allowed the payment of house rent allowance, that allowed the payment of goods transport from India to there. It was for the expat. It was kind of to promote senior executives as expats, right? So there was a program happening, which I had no clue. We had no clue. And fortunately, at that point of time, there was this gentleman I was communicating with, said, "Yo, Sai, you fall into this category because you are a vice president. You fall into this category, and these are the benefits that accrue to you. So we will pay you the air tickets. We will take care of your house rental. We will take care of your goods transport from your home in Bangalore to London and then back at the end of your tenure, and a lot of other benefits, your schooling, kids' schooling." So I was like, wow, it was a miracle. I never expected all that. So things happened. I mean, I always felt grateful for that. And again, it's again magic, right? I repeatedly told Patriji, this is magic. He even visited London while we were there. And this is again magic. And again, while I was in London, there were a lot of instances where we had business meetings, where we had deals that we had to walk away from because of something, some inner sense telling you that, oh, this is not going to work out, right? And there are other things where some of the client demos that didn't work automatically get moved because the non-availability of a client at that particular time. And we were able to do the demos or we were able to do presentations much better, much later. So building trust in ourselves, building confidence in the universe is what automatically happened. Again, I would say that is because of the silencing of the chatter and allowing your intuition to observe. Intuition and synchronicities keep happening every time. Only thing is, as we continue to calm our mind, we're able to observe that. We are able to be more aware of that and be in sync with that, rather than ignoring it and going the way where our mind leads. So that element of financial help that I received as part of the program during those 2 years helped me save the amount, helped me fund the expenses, create a corpus that allowed me now, in the last 2.5 years, allowed me to quit my job early and then help me do the service with Pyramid Valley, right? So last 2.5 years, there's no corporate salary, no regular salary. But me and my family, my wife, my 2 daughters are going to school. We've been absolutely fantastic. We've been grateful for all the abundance that happened in the previous years. So in spite of not having a salary, doing full-time service for Pyramid Valley, and also making some financial contributions, we were absolutely happy. And again, that gratitude again continued as I moved into consulting. The last 1 year I've been doing consulting. So again, I never had to worry. I was surprised that consulting also paid you good enough rates in India. Then as one consulting engagement ends, there are around that time, there are other queries that continue, right? And then one consulting engagement ends and another consulting starts, right? I was always in a position of choosing, thankfully, again, right? I was always in a position of choosing, okay, there are 2-3 engagements happening, so I want to choose this. Let me go with this. To me, managing my time was a lot more important than just going and doing any engagement just because the money is good. And it's all thankfully because of all the things that happened prior to it, right? So in the interest of time, I want to kind of end my sharing. And then my only learning, wisdom from all this is meditation, breath mindfulness, meditation, or any calms your mind and allows you to be yourself, allows you to do what you are destined to do in this lifetime. And my experience is basically, hopefully will provide that confidence, will provide that trust in each one of you. So continue the practice of meditation, just flow with the life, just be with whatever life gives you. Meditation gives you the strength to allow you to do that. Be it pain, be it pleasure, be it gain, be it loss, it's all designed. We attract all that, and then it's a question of just flowing with it rather than resisting it. With that, thank you, Chandra. Thank you, ma'am, Sudha ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity, and I hope it was helpful.
Absolutely, Sai, Cody enabled chat. Absolutely, Sai. So much of practical. Rather than saying that it helped me a great deal in corporate, you just ran us through a series of examples of how it comes together. And Sai has been doing an incredible amount of service. He was very, very modest in what he's saying, but his contribution financially when there's no job, while also giving all the time, because the conviction is there. And it's a classic case of when you align to your purpose, that the deep calling, then you're taken care. And if you go through, friends, his journey, he said 6 years it took to get to that aha moment of, in the corridors of the corporate, that he is so aware that he was observing himself, that metacognition capability that built up into him, but that it took 6 years to observe that calmness, that, while he is just in the middle of so many people, his team, but he's still there observing everything. That moments will happen to each of us, but that sincere practice is essential. Benefits are seen, that's why he said he kept going. The benefits will be there. The experiences may not be there. The energy that you feel, all of that, what others say, oh, this way, that way, they may not be there. It doesn't matter, dear friends. I keep hearing the questions people keep saying that I'm not able to concentrate for 2 minutes. Sit down, keep your eyes closed, and then train yourself. Don't open the eyes. We are too conditioned to think that if I didn't experience emptiness, then my meditation is a waste. It's not at all. I mean, it's just a perfect example here, Sai. And meditation allow him to flow, no resistance. And the meditation, the more we flow, and then the more we connect what we call the field, or the super mind, the higher mind, that's what we call super conscious mind. So we are connecting, so we are always receiving. The messages are always there. The nature of the universe, the quantum fields, goal is to experience itself more through all of the energy entities that we are. So it's constantly giving opportunities to everybody, constantly giving messages to everybody to latch on to it and then utilize to it in a way that we are deeply satisfied, while it also experiences more and more. But it's that analytical blocking mind that blocks off all of them. And so meditation allows him to flow through and then be very spontaneous, that we keep hearing. No longer all that overnight preparations and the rehearsals are not required. It is not to say that we become arrogant in leaving preparation. It is that we become confident in believing in our capability to channel the right information. You know it as business leaders, many a times the best decisions are those that were taken through a feeling, the gut feeling. You know, the intuitive decisions are the best decisions, not necessarily a lot of stuff that we prepared. And so, friends, the spontaneity is a tremendous benefit. The clarity that we go with as a leader into the business meetings, into any client situations is a tremendous benefit. And the courage that we have to jump into what we want to do. You know, the daughters are very young. His daughters are very young. I know for sure that he didn't build, you know, his 2 lifelong savings. I know for sure that. But then he still jumped in because the clarity and the confidence is there that this is what I want to do now. Not worrying about I receive salary, I build more houses, buy more things, but I want to do now because I want to really go and then spread what I really think is giving satisfaction. That's what he did. And then he used the word, I'm always in a position of choosing because things are always coming. When you align to your purpose, your desire, and then you go and then do it, then the universe seems to conspire to help. The field is helping. What is that field? The field is our own super conscious mind that we activate every time we go into this empty state. And then with the activation is through subconscious. That's a concept we'll talk about one of the other days. So thank you, Sai, for several of those messages. Beautifully said. Friends, Sai is here to take some questions.
Thank you, Chandra.
Definitely here we must take some more of his questions, but those of you planned time only till 7:30, we quite exceeded. So feel free to leave, but I request Sai to be here for another 10 minutes or so to answer any questions that people have for him. He is teaching this beautiful course called Breath by Breath and other courses. If anybody is having challenge, like in our program, where we straight out go into 45 minutes of meditation, and then I jump from, allow yourself to become empty and then experience this emptiness. And then there is a lot, and sometimes a few of us are having challenge with it. So he's definitely doing the courses where it goes even more hand-holding to go through the count of breaths. And so in a way that you can go into these meditations deeply. And then these courses, I'm sure, is going to do one more announced through Pyramid Valley International, something that both are so dearly associated. And so we must go and then do that. And of course, he's an expert in mind to matter. He does courses on this mind to matter. I'm sure whenever it's launched again. In fact, this time we launch it under Buddha Seva Quantum Foundation, asking Sai to do this for us. That is thoroughly put together a 2-week course on mind to matter, covering everything in detail about scientific experimentation. Right? Yes, Sai, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Chandra. And in fact, so the breath by breath course was again motivated by my own experience. As I said, it took me a long time to just sit and observe your breath calmly, right? I mean, there were all these thoughts happening. So then after going through a lot of books and Buddhist practices, it's basically a step-by-step for people who are bothered by excessive thoughts. We take them on a 14-day journey. We start with things like just focusing on observing your breath at a particular point, and then slowly lead them onto breath mindfulness. And a lot of people have experienced that. And we also do stillness retreat. Again, stillness retreat, a lot of components of stillness retreat that came in. Though today a lot of people appreciate the structure, it all came about through flow. It all came about coincidences. We didn't sit on a drawing board and on a table and said, this is what we need to do. It all happened as we continue to do the stillness retreat. So it evolved. So stillness retreat is a 7-day in Pyramid Valley residential retreat with 5 days of silence and lots of meditation and little wisdom. Right. So we'll talk more about it later. So we'll take some questions.
Yes, most certainly, I would like you to come back and then talk about Pyramid Valley and everything it's offering in one of the sessions. Yes. Okay. At this time, any questions? Yes, Sudha, madam.
We have Subhash Jagath. So can you please unmute yourself?
Yeah, I'm Subhash Jagath, calling from Mumbai. First of all, thank you to Chandra sir and Sai Kripa Sagar sir. And today I joined. This is my third session, and I I think 3 years back I joined one of group which is located in Bangalore doing the meditation. And yeah, that time I used to do the meditation, but I left the job and joined in Mumbai. So somehow I disconnected and last 3 years. So suddenly I got this message to join this meditation harmony session. So yeah, it's so now I'm doing the meditation and feeling the things that already you are saying. So my question to Sai sir, yeah. So now I'm in corporate world and feeling the same thing that you shared with us, like the always keeping more thought while speaking to in meetings or while taking the session. So it is always too good to keep our mind in calm and be confident on ourselves. That is truly your say. So I'm also looking for a join to group to do the meditation regularly. So yeah, that's the things. And thank you to all. Yeah. So please provide some benefits already you told. So it will help to corporate world to think clearly or to do the communication properly. So yeah,
Yes,
please
sir.
have some word around that.
Yes, sir. So good that you rejoined the meditation program and group again from Mumbai now. So I think that is the primary step. I think the most important thing is continuous practice of this meditation. Right now that you're already part of this program, and I'm sure I think Buddha CEO conducts regular programs. I mean, every day there is some meditation session happening, be it within the 40 days or outside. So please continue to join. The only thing that helped me and it will help you and everyone is consistency. Every day, 1 hour of meditation. If it is with group meditation, so be it. If it is not group meditation, you can practice it. In fact, when I used to travel a lot, sometimes you get up early in the morning and the ride to Bangalore airport takes an hour or under half. Sometimes I do meditation in the car. And sometimes when I am on calls during that time, I do meditation in the flight. No one disturbs you. So meditation, that is the only thing. And as you continue doing it, magic happens, right? So it's like I always take this analogy of cricket. So you got great players of cricket, Virat Kohli and everything, but everyone does the net practice. Your 1 hour of sitting meditation every morning is that net practice for you to go and play the game of life the rest of the day, whatever be it, right? Be it in the corporate world or anywhere. So that net practice is very important for every player. So similarly, that 1 hour of sitting practice is very important for us to come. As you continue to do it, things will happen. There is nothing like, it's a pill that gives you those benefits unseen, unaware, and continuously. That is all. So please continue joining this group. Please continue the group meditation every day. So that is the primary thing.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you and gratitude to Chandra sir also. Yeah, thank you.
We have Balli Devi Prabhu. Ma'am, can you please unmute yourself?
Yeah, hello, sir. Good morning, Chandra sir. Good morning, Sagar sir. So very, very inspiring. No, around 2 years back, sometime January, and since then I'm attending every sessions. So I work in TCS last 25 years and in Bangalore, and it has helped tremendously. So every session that I attend, whether it is Chandra sir, then I got introduced to Dr. Newton and Shreyas Daga. So it has been going great. But for a very long time, the question that I have in my mind is, what is my purpose of my life? Few year back, I really tried hard to, using meditation or all the time thinking about it. So I almost come close. Then again, I feel that, I drawn away from it. So that is one question. It keeps coming to my mind. I know service is the one which all of us are coming onto earth. But what is that? It really, how do I know that this is what is my path? So that is something which I would like to know. Sir.
So you mentioned purpose of life, right?
Yes.
Okay. So wonderful. So I've always been, I've also been on a similar journey like you, ma'am. For a long time, I was searching for that purpose of life. What is the purpose, right? And obviously, I've read countless books. And ultimately, this is my learning. I'm sure Chandra will cover that, and a lot of you will have different observations. Excuse me. So my learning has been, of course, I'm a great fan of Eckhart Tolle, Joe Dispenza, and Deepak Chopra. Quite a lot of New Age authors as well, and they link to a lot of stuff, right? So my learning, and which I also teach in my classes, is each one of us has an inner purpose and an outer purpose. Outer purpose is the one we are doing, right? Could be you are in TCS, you are a project manager, architect, engineer, executive, whatever it is. So that is the outer purpose. A teacher could be teaching. An accountant could be doing some financial work. A business executive runs business. A homemaker takes care of a family. A parent takes care of a kid. So that is our outer purpose, right? And that continues to vary. And it keeps varying as we go along. But the outer purpose always provides us the opportunities and experiences to address our inner purpose. Our inner purpose is basically to evolve, right? And then I think Dawson, David, someone. So he's written a book called Power versus Force. He has a very neat map called Map of Consciousness. And it aligns to our chakra system. I'm sure we'll cover that, right? So basically, so there are different fears, different things that we need to go beyond that. So inner purpose is the life always provides you those opportunities for you to go. For example, if you need courage, in my case, for example, I was always thinking about what people think. So that needed courage, right? So my inner purpose was, how do I address the outer thing with that additional calmness, additional courage? So for some, it could be courage, some it could be anxiety, some it could be overcoming fear, for some it could be just going and doing the daring to be doing something totally different, right? So getting into unknown territories. So it does that. So inner purpose is basically being calm, being still, and then observing what you're supposed to do. It automatically happens. And that to me is my definition of purpose. Is basically aligning your inner purpose to outer purpose. That is what we are all for. And believe me, I've searched that, and there are quite a books that talk about that. There are quite a books that give you the formula to find your purpose. And to me, none of those work. But ultimately, I felt confident, I felt calm, I felt aligned with this theory of inner purpose and outer purpose. I hope it helps.
Oh, it helps greatly. Since I joined this course, one thing I observed and I changed every time I come across any challenge or any difficult person to deal with, whether it is personally or officially or a situation, I see that, after first few minutes reaction or worrying or anxiety, I see that, okay, there is something to learn here. So it is to bring that change, it is to invoke my inner has given me insight and courage to deal. Okay, this is just to opportunity to better myself, right? There is something which I'm not doing, not practicing. I think this is one of the best answers about the purpose I've heard. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think I was all over looking for it. Thank you so much. Its session has been inspiring. I can relate to it very much. I'm heading UK region for cybersecurity. The kind of stress that inside. So I could really resonate it. It's just outstanding. Thank you. And Chandra sir, I'm with Ekalavya. I just happened to join that talk. There is a say, right? When student is ready, teacher appears. I think in my life, it is always, I was very much drawn to spirituality, but I didn't know where and how. And it just happened that my colleague suggested this session, and from day one, I've been extremely well connected to it. So thank you to Chandra sir. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. Glad it helped. And obviously, it's all synchronicities, providence, one mind guiding you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Valika. Yeah. Yeah. Madhavi, can you please unmute yourself, ma'am?
Yeah. Hi, thank you for this opportunity. So whatever you have mentioned, Sai sir, I think I can relate to most of the things what you said, like overthinking, what people think about others, chartering mind, all the things. Yeah, I have tried several meditations. I think this is first time one of my friend forwarded me this, and I started. This is something like I can connect it much better than the earlier ones. I will continue to do that. So one other question I have is, I have a teenage son. I think he also got the chartering mind. I can see that yeah, even though I have the chartering mind, I'm fine in my career and I did my masters and everything. But I can see that it's impacting him so much, the way like, he's not able to complete the homeworks and all those things. Do you have, he's like, he will be almost like he's in the senior high school. We are in US. Any sessions like targeting those age or anything like that coming up? I'm looking in the summer, maybe before he start his college. Just I think I can see that he kind of got all this busy mind, chartering mind. That is the reason for his focus issues.
Yes, madam. I think it's true for most of our children with so many distractions. I think Buddha CEO does those programs and meditation sessions for youth. So that may be a good opportunity or good thing for him to join once he's ready.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, madam. We have a program coming up later in January. Buddhaceo.org has the details. Youth, it's a 3-week program. 3 weeks, sufficient for them to decondition, uncondition in 3 weeks. So have them join.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Rosemary, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please unmute yourself?
Hello, good morning, and good evening. My name is Rosemary. I'm from the US. Thank you so much for this session in English. And I certainly appreciate all the knowledge that is being brought in these sessions. It's wonderful. I, like you, I was in the corporate world, in IT. It's very intimidating at times. You have so many people who are so much better than you are. And, sometimes you feel like you're being looked at under a magnifying glass when you're up there trying to tell everyone a status or, give a presentation of telling what they don't quite know. So I understand it, and I used to make all these justifications. Oh, it's the electromagnetic frequency coming from the lights. That's why I can't concentrate. It's hurting me somehow. It's hurting my creative flow. But I think that because of all the distractions in the world, and because I didn't feel very secure within myself, I was not centered. And I think with this course of meditation, it will certainly help me center myself and build up my confidence. I am retired now. I just retired at the end of December. Unfortunately, I didn't get this meditation much sooner. I could have benefited from it. But I do have a question in my later years. How can I practice manifesting that oneness that I feel in meditation? How can I bring it into my everyday life or will that happen automatically at some point?
Chandra, do you want to answer?
Yes, it's going to happen automatically. This practice, when we do it,
okay,
the more we understand, and then the more we spend time with this field, the field is that whole which you already are experiencing. It's going to happen. That's what meditation does, is to bring mindfulness. Mindfulness of what? To everything that we're experiencing around.
Oh,
and
great.
it brings that empathy and compassion, so that oneness is expressed in our day-to-day life through empathy, compassion, friendliness, kindness, and all of that, that naturally will happen.
And that will take the place of fear, right? I think a lot of us today, I see it anyway. I haven't been, I've been to Colombia and I've been to the US. I haven't been to many other countries, but I do see a lot of fear, people walking around, and I know it happens to me too, right? We all seem scared of something. We don't know what exactly. Maybe it's because we're in the middle of change,
The actions follow. Our actions follow based on how we think and how we talk.
Mm-hmm.
And so we, as we learn, and then everything is right here, as we learn the concepts of coherence and thoughts create reality, that every thought and every feeling has energy. So we keep working on them to become more and more impeccable. So that happens by building more awareness. That happens by practicing more meditation.
Okay, great.
Simple.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Mr. Nirav Shah. Yes, Mr. Nirav Shah. Can you please unmute yourself?
We'll take one last after this.
Hello, sir. Thank you for such a wonderful session again. Just my question is that there are a lot of ways to, not a lot of ways, but I would say there are a lot of methods available in nowadays. A lot of information, a lot of content everywhere, everything. So what's happening currently, that like it is true in every field, whether it's a doctor who treats any disease, or any personal development coach, or any meditation coach, or anything, any learning. Like in my childhood, I never went to any coaching class, but nowadays there's a lot of information, knowledge available, and we feel like doing everything. For a few days, you tend to have interest for something, and when you observe clearly, by like 5 days or 6 days, you lose interest, or something another interesting comes up and you get into that. So basically you have manual, but you have not used that manual, and you think of developing a tool through that manual. So my question is that people are getting distraction very easily through variety of information, and how to limit yourself in this era of too much information. Like basically it is too much information is also toxic, everybody knows, but one or another way it happens. You close the doors for so many windows, but certain things pops up to you, and you basically you do the same thing and you expect different result. So how to stick to one particular methodology and take the advantage of that methodology, rather than trying all the methods one by one for a scattered efforts.
Sadar, do you want?
No, Saga, please go ahead.
Sir, yeah, I think all of us, I mean, there are multiple paths. My learning has been, sir, there's been multiple paths, right? Even in meditation, there are multiple types of meditation, and beyond that, there are a lot of spiritual practices. But I believe the ultimate goal is getting us into that state of stillness, right? So getting us to understand ourselves. So I think even though there is a lot more information, I think the best way for us to try, and I've seen a lot of people who come to Pyramid Valley and attend such of these programs, it's about experiment. Patriji says, experiment, explore, experiment, experience, and then you evaluate, right? So some things work for you, some things don't work for you. But the important thing is to give some time for every practice. If your question is, there are so many practices, so much of information, I'm not able to focus on one particular thing, right? But we'll have to give it time, 21 days, 40 days. That is why most of us have the structured programs. So go through a full course. Like you said, I mean, if abandoning it after 6-7 days, losing interest, again, that's not the solution. But we'll have to go through, experiment it, fully evaluate. If it suits us, that's fine. Otherwise, move on to something else. But the important thing is we'll have to give it the time that it needs for us to even see if I'm benefiting or if I'm aware of the benefits or not. So that is my only answer. It's a question of persistence rather than jumping from one to another frequently.
The reason, thank you, sir, just to add to what Sai is saying, the reason that we don't continue a practice sustained is because it's only remaining in a conscious mind. We continually get operated through the subconscious program, which is saying, yeah, okay, this is boring. There is always, the subconscious program is conditioned the body and mind so much that we are used to the comfort of it. And so when we pick something, when you make a resolution, when you start learning a new skill, the subconscious program is distracted enough and is saying, when you want to go deeper and say, what do you want to do now? There are so many other choices. Why don't you try that first before you do this? It is already conditioned that way. So we got to make a conscious attempt to move that into the subconscious program. I suggest you read this book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. This is precisely for this purpose Dr. Joe Dispenza has written. And to make something go into the subconscious program, to drop that analytical mind, to do go something, then you practice this meditation. Now it becomes a catch-22 to apply this meditation for that very purpose, to create a new habit of whatever that you want to do, to make meditation a habit to begin with, right? It's a catch-22. But if you have meditation as a habit, then one thing can be guaranteed is that then you can make any new habit very easily, because then meditation is allowing you to put stuff into your subconscious directly, regularly. So then the question becomes only, how do I make meditation a habit? And the answer to that, whoever has asked this question is, you got to make a resolution. You got to probably tell your friends and tell your family members, and then get to people like in Buddha's Yoga, you are part of it, and say, hey, I want you to help me. Some days I'm sleeping, and then you please call me if you can, and then push me. And if you're going to make a resolution once and then cross over this bridge for this 2-3 weeks, where you start seeing the benefit of it, then you make meditation a habit, then every other habit can become very, very easy, because the meditation has the access to the subconscious to record it there so that you can practice enough time, right? So that book gives a lot of clarity for anybody. You're absolutely right. There's infinite of information, but the infinite of information blows down to what is really required for you when you regularly meditate. Our RAS, the system that is capturing billions of bits, but only takes what is necessary, is operating through your intuitive knowledge. It's no longer sifting through all that and to make a choice, but your intuitive knowledge will tell you what technique is important for me, what skill is important for me. All of this will happen more efficiently, is because we are drawing on intuitive knowledge. Again, that's built through meditation. But we have to make meditation a habit somehow, and that somehow is a program like this. So make use of this is what we say, make use of all the facilitators, open up use every avenue to talk. And Vali Devi Prabhuji, I've seen her, she comes out and then talks regularly. Whether it is a great experience or not, so she's asking a question, talking. And so in the process, then we are committing ourselves more to this. And so in the process of doing that, then we are into it to make it a habit, make it a practice. Having the window open is another great way that we commit, that I am here for this, right in front, not afraid. Those who don't open windows are doing partial listening and then slowly slip out, because it's easy, right? It's difficult to go away from a front bench and easy to step out from a back bench. I'm just using the analogy. Of course, some people may have a serious reason of why they're not having the videos on, but it's an important aspect in online learning too. Hope that helps. Thank you.
So can we take more questions?
Yes, let's take quickly for whatever reason, but yes, let's take all Sai's time as much. Sai, another 5 minutes. We'll close this.
Yeah, no, I don't have an issue.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Mr. Ashok Mittal, can you unmute yourself, sir?
My gratitude to Sudha Madam, to Chandra Sir and Sagar Sir. Sir, I have been interacting with earlier Sagar Sir also in one of the different programs. Whatever Mr. Nirav Shah, our master, is sharing, I would like to share my experience also a bit. I got retired from my first innings as a professional in 2013, sir. Then first year I did some work, but then I left it, and I didn't do anything for 9 years. Didn't do anything, simply taking negative content from TV, watching TV. And suddenly, sir, in September this year, last year, September, when I was in Bengaluru, I got a WhatsApp message and email for the meditation program being conducted by Dhyana Jagath, sir. And that was the manifestation decoded, not by design, but not by default, but by design. So I got interested, but in the meantime, I joined a couple of live memberships also, sir. Like Internet Lifestyle Hub, this breathing techniques, and then I joined Go Nature, how to take heal body with natural diet. Then
Ashok, we would like to
sir.
utilize Sai's time, and then we will definitely get your experience shared one of the days.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
But if you can complete the point and say,
yes, sir.
whatever the
my point is that I started getting overwhelmed with the lot of information. Then I started getting resonated with my meditation. So whenever there was overlapping, I was skipping those sessions and committedly attending meditation sessions. So that is what I wanted to say, is that meditation is now giving me the answer that what I should do and what I should leave it. That is what I wanted to point out, sir.
Wonderful.
This is my experience for the last 3-4 months, sir. And I would like, definitely I have requested you and I will meet you and Sagar sir also, because I am coming from 25th to 30th this retreat being conducted by PVI, sir.
Very good, sir. Yes. Looking forward to seeing you there, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ashok ji, for that, closing with that, your personal example, that if you make meditation a practice, then other things will become easy to figure out. That's what we call clarity. Right. So, friends, it's absolutely been fantastic to be here with Sai. And I learn every time Sai shares. And I think we all share our moments with such people. So when we are open, and then we have people coming into our lives, and Sai is like that. So Sai, thank you so much. He's more than my brother. My father says, when we are doing things, then he says, Sagar, okay, he's our 4th son, right? Or 5th son. It's like that. We live very close by. I just drop by to his home anytime I want. And so he's like, that's like that. But wonderful, we are together putting our technology brain parallel to what we are doing to enhance, to to amplify the message of meditation through scale and through personalization by building some technology. So I think we have several thoughts and ideas and dreams around this space. And Sai, with all his credentials, is going to be a great asset. You will sure find that if there is some great application of meditation coming out, it's going to come out through his brilliant brain of computers. It's going to happen. So thank you, Sai.
Thanks, Chandra. It's been a blessing knowing you and your family and also getting involved in a lot of things that you've been doing. So I'm just happy. Thank you. Thanks for having me here, entire Buddha CEO team. Sudha Madam, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sudha Madam. So, Rakesh, an observation from you.
Amazing. I've known Sai for many years. I've worked with him. Many of the incidents that he spoke, I've been in some of those meetings with the customers. I didn't know he was doing meditation, but I've always admired, always looked up to him, anything professionally. And today was so clear, the concept of inner purpose to outer purpose. And I was going through that too, and I recognize that inner purpose is something, and we attract all the external events based on our inner purpose. So thank you, Sai, for putting everything, every time I speak, so simple, so clear in how he puts it, and really grateful to have known you and continue to learn from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rakesh.
Mukulji, another business leader, runs his own company in New Jersey. Yes, sir.
Thank you for giving me opportunity to speak to Sai sir. I spoke to Rakesh as well as Chandra sir. I agree that with the meditation, it is helping me a lot with my professional as well as my personal life. And mainly, my wife used to do it every day, and then Vani ma'am says that I should also do, and then I started and never stopped. I'm not regular, but I do meditation every day. Not too much, but whatever time I get it. It all goes to help with Buddha CEO that I'm doing in meditation. Thank you
We
very
listen to your
much.
experience, but your observation on Sai's talk.
Yeah, he's talking exactly what I was going through.
Wonderful. Thank you.
When you are in a business, you have a lot of things to do at the same time, and you want to go here, there. A lot of thoughts are coming, and as you said, 60 to 80,000 thoughts come in a day to you, and that makes you crazy. But once you start meditation, it slows down, it goes less and less, and then you can concentrate on something. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mukul. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you,
Yes, Narendra sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Sai. And, I think both Sai Kripasagar and Chandra, as well as our all of us are really getting the benefit through the Patriji's teachings, and you are the product of leaders created by Patriji, and with your such a wonderful profession, you opted for service for a certain period, and now his spirit and enthusiasm, and with that you are now pursuing the Pyramid Valley activity. That is a great. All leaders don't leave their very secured profession to go for other activities. So that shows that you are being there only for this purpose, and God has sent you in that way. And your both of your friendship also would have helped the Pyramid Valley as well as Buddha CEO Foundation in a great way. And as per the profession, as you rightly said, I was always feeling that I should have also introduced the meditation much in my life. But thanks to Padmashri Karthikeyan, in the last three and a half years, I had the opportunity to have the meditation by Chandraji, and not a single occasion I missed that, and that has immensely helped. So you and Chandra and all are the model for corporate success and corporate what you call enduring performance. I think all those who have joined in the current 40 days phase, I'm sure they will bring that message to their corporate leaders. And India really needs this meditation for taking the advantage of the global opportunities, and that gives a lot of purpose within ourselves, energy within ourselves, and the external energy and the inner energy, we can achieve great success. Thank you, Sai Krupar Sagar. Wish you all the best in your endeavors, and we are all with you in your future endeavors.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your wishes. In fact, I took courage and inspiration from Chandra. He was the one to first dive out of full-time corporate job, and seeing him, I followed suit. So thanks, Chandra, and thanks everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Sai. Thank you, Narendra sir. That's former chairman of Indian Overseas Bank. Wonderful to be having you with us. And so thank you all. The message is not to leave corporate job. The message is to do what you really love to do. All right. So, and we must all stay in corporate so that we partner together and then take this to everybody. Right. So thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
I call the healing power with my spirit and soul. I draw it to my heart. It's already here. I only need to claim it with my spirit and soul. I know that I am healed. I am healed. I am.
Quickly, there is an announcement, sir.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Friends, we are excited to announce our book clubs are starting from next week, 16th. That is from this Monday. Kindly visit our web page for more details and registration. Book clubs serve the purpose of self-reading and interactions during the journey. So during these book clubs, we will have experienced book club facilitators who will cover the key theme of the books over the course of 5 sessions. The book club sessions will be repeated during the both morning and evening hours to suit the timings of our global audience. So kindly join, and please do register, friends. Yes,
We'll give more details tomorrow evening. Okay.
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.